Hi, welcome to Daily Arena. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be taking a look at a deck that I've been recently having some fun playing. This is a black-green Saprolings deck. I got the list off of EtherHub. I will include a link to the original list on EtherHub in the article that goes with this video. So, the black-green Saprolings deck's game plan is to make a lot of Saprolings quickly, pump them up, and swing for the win. It uses some black removal to keep pesky enemy creatures out of the way. I've divided all the cards in the deck into 6 categories, and will group them together by category. Some cards fall into multiple categories. The first category is token generation. Tendershoot Dryad is the deck's all-star, creating a Saproling at each turn, yours and your opponent's. And if your opponent lets this go for more than a couple of turns, it can get way out of hand. Yavimaya Sapherd gives you 3 power and 3 toughness across 2 bodies for 3 mana. This is a decent deal, and since some of the pumps in this deck pump fungus creatures as well as Saproling creatures, having 2 bodies is a big advantage. Slimefoot the Stowaway makes Saprolings for 4 mana at a time. In most games, this ability isn't going to make a significant difference, as you will usually have more efficient ways to spend your mana, but it can get you some extra value over a few turns, and you will also have the odd game where Slimefoot, in combination with Song of Freyalise and Saprolings you already have on the field, will get you 1 or 2 real boosts to your Saproling count. Spore Swarm makes 3 Saprolings for 4 mana. This often adds up to 6 to 9 power and 6 to 9 toughness in this deck, which is a great deal for the cost. Fungal Infection is a combination combat trick and removal spell, which also makes a Saproling. In this deck, that extra 1/1 is great value tacked onto this card. Saproling Migration is a lot like a Spore Swarm that can be played early for 1 fewer Saproling, or can be kicked for more value in the late game. The second category of cards in this deck is Token Pump. Once you have 10 or more permanents, which is easy in this deck, Tendershoot Dryad gives all of your Saprolings +2/+2. This means, for example, that your value from Spore Swarm is now 9 points of power and 9 points of toughness for only 4 mana. One thing to keep in mind is that Tendershoot Dryad is vulnerable to most of the removal in this format, so keep that in mind when attacking or blocking, as there are times when a well-placed kill spell can turn a Tendershoot Dryad-powered Alpha Strike into a blowout. Sporecrown Thallid pumps all of your Saprolings and all of your other fungus creatures, which means it also pumps other Thallids, including other Sporecrown Thallids. Once in a while, your first 2 plays will be one of these on turn 2, and then another one on turn 3 holding up mana for Fungal Infection, giving you 6 points of power and toughness for 4 mana, which isn't bad, as well as another potential 3 power and toughness from Fungal Infection. Path of Discovery doesn't statically pump all of your Saprolings, or pump them all temporarily, but it puts permanent +1/+1 counters on 60% or more of your creatures, which makes a big difference when most of your creatures are small tokens. Song of Freyalise functions as both ramp and pump, often allowing you to accelerate out more Thallids and Saprolings that are then pumped in a couple of turns into a vigilant, trampling, indestructible force. Don't be afraid to play this when you don't actually have anything to spend the extra mana on in hand. The pump effect at the end is powerful enough to make it worthwhile, and can push through damage or force trades even when you can't win with it outright. The third category is Saproling and Token Payoffs. Slimefoot the Stowaway is often a losing proposition for your opponent, enabling you to make attacks and blocks that would normally be bad for you, but that, with Slimefoot on the field, give your opponent no good combat choices. As with Tendershoot Dryad, be aware of possible instant speed removal that your opponent might have up that could completely ruin your day if pointed at Slimefoot. Thallid Omnivore can often attack freely or function as an almost impenetrable blocker due to threat of activation when combined with a horde of Saproling tokens. It can also allow you to hang on when you're behind, gaining life off of your chump blockers to keep you in the game, and even work as a sacrifice outlet to finish off your opponent when combined with Slimefoot the Stowaway, draining away those last points of life. Path of Discovery also functions as a Saproling payoff, turning all your tokens into card selection and advantage. The fourth category is Removal. Fungal Infection is a better-than-it-looks removal spell that functions along a few axes. It can outright kill a pesky 1 toughness creature and leave a Saproling token behind. It can generate a 2-for-1 by killing a 1 toughness creature and trading the Saproling with another one. It can kill a 2 toughness creature by giving it -1/-1 and then blocking with a Saproling. And it can do even more when combined with your other creatures or when the token it generates is pumped by one of your Saproling lords. Vicious Offering can kill many creatures on its own, and often being able to kick it by sacrificing a Saproling makes it effective in getting Baneslayer Angels and the like out of your way. It's also an instant, which pushes it up to premium removal status in a deck like this one. The fifth category is just Vraska. Vraska, Relic Seeker, plays a few important roles in this deck. In my play experience with the deck so far, she mostly functions as removal, usually killing an annoying creature and or getting one of your important creatures like Tendershoot Dryad out from underneath enchantment removal or a Bishop of Binding or similar. She can also create tokens which help fill out your board and also get pumped by some of the pump cards in the deck. Her ultimate is great, but I think you'll seldom see it happen. I haven't used it once. The sixth and final category is Mana Fixing. Evolving Wilds, Fall Orchard, and Woodland Cemetery help get the colors of mana you need when you need them. Woodland Cemetery is important and worth it to craft, even though it uses up your scarce rare wild cards. Pro tip: if you have Evolving Wilds and Woodland Cemetery in your opening hand, play and crack Evolving Wilds first, since that will allow you to play an untapped Woodland Cemetery and a 2-drop on turn 2. During my play testing, this deck was a ton of fun, but it's not nearly as competitive as for example, the Blue-Black Scarab God deck that I was on before. It seems to do really well against aggro decks with a lot of 1 or 2 toughness creatures, and I have had a pretty good run with it on Quick Constructed. So sure, take a look at the gameplay video. I'm going to let it play out to the end. And drop me a line, give me comments on the deck or whatever you think. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.